What is up, guys? So, I figured we were pretty far in the set now that I kind of wanted to jump on and do a draft. We've already did the sealed open and getting ready for the sealed qualifier, but figured I'd jump on. We could do a draft together, and I'll probably play the games a little bit later after my ranking locks in. But we'll go ahead and use our token and jump in and navigate a draft together. It's really fun. This set has a lot to offer. It's one of my favorite sets of all time. Really allows you to do a lot of different things, and it's very intricate. You can tell by just the cards. There's so much words on every card that you really have to know your stuff. You really have to read each card. So let's get in and see where we end up. Are we going to be 5-color nonsense? Are we going to end up snow? Are we going to get some broken cards that drives us into a couple colors? Are we going to jump into aggro? Let's see what happens. All right, so right off the bat, we have one pretty good bomb. Esaga's Chariot provides 2 bodies and then a 4/4 on top of it that continues making more bodies. So most likely we're going to be taking that and being some form of green. But Poison the Cup is also a very good uncommon. I've been very impressed with it. The 3 Seasons good in the snow deck. If we're aggro at all, Battlefield Raptor is really good, and it's a 1-drop that's good in a set, which you don't find very often anymore. They really made the 1-drops good in a set. Feed the Serpents is probably the best black common. Find the Monsters, not great, but okay. Horizon Seeker really lets the 5-color deck tick. And Shimmer Drift Veil is actually a high pick in packs. Really, you really want to play 5-color stuff. And Shimmer Drift Veil really lets you do those things. But like I said, we'll take the Chariot. It's easy pick. And hopefully we'll maybe Horizon Seeker or something along those lines. Honestly, I'd take a lot from this pack. Okay, follow that up. Ingler Rune Eyes I've found to be pretty good. A lot of times they have to navigate around combat of it dying and then not giving you 3 cards. Path of World Tree I've been very impressed with, and having an early incentive to be 5 colors. I think I'm in for that. Most likely will be on that. Coal's great in the red-white deck because it cares about, equipping and being able to bring back your stuff. It's great. Berg Strider is probably top 3 blue commons. It's really good. Demon Bolt, very impressed with. It's probably top 3 commons of the whole set. Frostbite's pretty good. And the rest falls off. So I think I'm going to take the World Tree and try to navigate some kind of 5-color nonsense. If I didn't take that, I'd probably be on Demon Bolt or Berg Strider. But stay green, navigate the 5-color deck. I'm in for that. Reflection of Littjara, I haven't been impressed with. You just don't find enough of a creature type to copy. And a 5-mana that does nothing sometimes, just you'd really want your 5-mana plays to do things. Class of Plow, people play that card. I never have, not impressed. Braggart's pretty good in the aggro deck. Verdict's more of a defensive card. Cavalry's decent, but we're not going to probably be aggro. We're going to probably try to play 5 colors. Scald's good with sagas. So most likely I'm just going to start taking lands. Start finding different ways to get to the 5 colors other than the World Tree getting basic. So we'll start taking some lands. Start nabbing up snow lands. Get that deck rolling. Alright, Provoke the Trolls I found to be good enough. Not anything special. It's just good enough. Sometimes in weird situations you'll get the +5 until end of turn and like steal a victory. So that's pretty cool. And sometimes going to the face with it's good, but in this kind of deck I'd rather have Demon Bolt or Frostbite, for example, which we might end up taking. Yeti's not great, and I haven't been impressed with Cardinal's Vicious Return either. So I think the best card in this for us is, if we want to stay green, we probably take the Outrider or the Snakekin's Veil. But I'm going to take the Frostbite just because I think it's probably the best card. And there's a chance maybe we're red-green color, based. The Frostbite's pretty good. Another Provoke the Trolls and a Squash. So our shows kind of a signal that red is open. That's good to know. I also think Augury Raven's probably in that top 3 or 4 blue common, and Disdainful Stroke's pretty good when people are foretelling stuff. But I think, given the signal of red I'm picking up, and we're drafting with real people, I'm probably on one of those. Snowland's also kind of interesting, but we don't have any blue yet, so I think I want to stay out of that. I think Squash is too close to 5 mana kill something, and then if we get some giants, it gets way better than that. And I think I'm on that. And it only costs 1 more than Provoke the Trolls, so I think Squash will be better for us. Okay. Litjar Mirror Lake I found to be pretty impressive as a spell land, especially if you get some sandworms. You get some sandworms in your copy, 6/6s that gain 4 life, except they're going to be 7/7s. That's big game. So I'm kind of interested in that, but we're not there yet, I don't think. I think our real options here are Cravenhawk to make Squash better, Outrider, Gladewalker to again make Squash better, or just the land. I think I'm going to take the land just kind of to be that person taking some of the snow lands. There's plenty of good options in this pack still, so we might be sending a green signal, but I'm okay with taking a land. Okay. Ascent of the Worthy, I have not been impressed with. I wouldn't play the card. Doesn't seem very good. Ball the Imposter has its moments. It's not bad. It's pretty good. Counter twice, then get rid of the best creature. Elderleaf Mentor, not really impressed with that unless you have Elf's Payoffs. Berserker, not really impressed with that either. I guess if there's a chance we're 5-color Fall the Imposter could be good. We don't have that any creatures at this point. I think I'm just going to take the Berserker, cut a little bit more of red. Okay. This pack does not a lot for me. Draugr Thought Thief is kind of cool as it's in a 3-mana 3/2 that surveils one basically, or Thought Seals or whatever they call it, your opponent sometimes in the late game when you want to make sure they're not drawing something good. Most of the time you're using it on yourself though, and you should. Raven Form not impressed with. Raven Wings is good in the aggressive decks. I think seeing as we don't have really any creatures, I think I might take the Crush the Weak, and maybe we could be a controlling red-green deck. Or a bigger one where this doesn't hurt us that much. Alright, the fact that Shimmer Drift came back to us is a pretty good sign that snow might be open and that some of the payoffs just haven't been picked up. And it also contributes to our Path of World Tree idea. So I'm pretty okay with taking the Shimmer Drift. That's late for that card. So I'll take it. And just the same way, I don't think I'm in for Snow-Covered Plains. There's not too many payoffs for Snow-Covered Plains other than, getting one with the path. But Inga, I feel like, is a sign that blue could possibly be open or is just deep in this pack. And the rest of the pack I'm not impressed with, so I'll take Inga. It's a good splash. Colossal Plow, no. This spell land I'm not very impressed with. Image from making him discard deal 3, meh. I mean, Broken Wings can be pretty good, but I think we can get some later. I'll take this Kennel Master in case somehow we end up in black somehow. Okay, I'll take the Outrider. We're definitely green of some sort, and the Outrider is, 5/5 for 5 has been good in this format. If we get more creatures, then Snakeskin Veil will be good. Especially if we get some bombs, which we're set up to take any bombs we see because we can be any color. 5-color green. So basically all bombs are open to us. Yeah, so like I said, 5 mana 5/5 for 5. It's an elf, so that's somewhat relevant. And I don't know, sometimes just big stuff does good things in this format. That's why like the 6/6 for 6 it gains 4 is really good in this format, the Lindworm. Being able to gain some of the life back from, aggro getting on you and then putting a body they can't deal with out has led to a lot of games won for me. But so far I would say probably put this Kennel Master in the sideboard. We do have a pretty easily black splash here. I'll take the Sentinel in case for some reason we get some low drops and we want to use it for splashing, but most likely he won't be in our deck. And yeah, I would say there's a couple good parts to this start, but for the most part that pack was pretty meh. Alright, this looks pretty cool. So we could do Waking the Trolls since we're already kind of red-green based. And I found Waking the Trolls, at first I looked at it and I was like, destroy land? Wow, 6 mana, really? And then you get to bring that land back, so that's kind of cool. And then the third part is where you just beat them. And we're already going to be playing a bunch of lands in our deck. So I think Waking the Trolls is a bomb in our deck. I also think Narfi, if we get some more snow, payoffs, and snow lands, could be really good in our deck, but probably not better than Waking the Trolls. Frostbite's another good interaction early that we could use. And Arctic Treeline would be nice to get maybe on the wheel if no one else is in green-white. But I think I'm taking Waking the Trolls. And now we have 2 or 3 like big game cards in our deck, so we'll be happy with that. This one's interesting. Cosima, I haven't had much chance to play yet, I'll be honest. But she looks pretty good on the face value of a 2-4 for 3 or a 3-3 thing that steals their lands for 2. So she seems like a bomb. Definitely worth trying. We might check that out. Behold We Know is very good. It's probably the best common in the set. Glittering Frost would be great for what we're doing with Path of World Tree and Snow, but we can get that later. And I also like Struggle a lot, although we only have 4 creatures, so probably not on that. I think Behold, if Cosima wasn't here, is what I would take. But Cosima is here, and I kind of want to test it out and see if it's as good as people say it is. So let's go ahead and get that in there. It's good on both sides. Can be a card advantage engine on the front, so that's pretty cool. And then there's this pack. In Search of Greatness, I don't think it's that good in draft. Against the Cosmos, if we have Giants and we have none, is good. We might have Giants by the end of it. Finn is very, it's just an early blocker that can be defensive, and that's pretty much what it is. Sometimes you'll win by poison, but not most of the time. Mass Vandal I've found to be pretty good. And then Struggle and Land. I think we can fill out the curve a little bit later along the way with just fillers. I think we take the falls. I think we'll take the falls, make sure our mana is really good. And and then get some of the early drops a little bit later. You've seen all those early drops will be just fine in our deck. You know, they're nothing special, but they'll be just fine. This pack, I think, is between Icehide Troll and Icebind Pillar. Both are really good in a snow deck, but I feel like we're a little defensive. We don't have many creatures, but I think that's okay for now. I think we can find the ways to win the game as we go. I think making sure we can drag the game along a little bit more with a pillar to buy time for a path and Waking the Trolls is where we want to be. So I'm going to take the pillar. I also think it's just a little bit better than the troll. The troll takes more work. The pillar needs 1 land, 1 snow land. So I think we're on the Icebind Pillar. Looks like we're pretty steady into Teamer. And that being said, we got a very good red-green land that can deal 2 to everything, and dealing 2 to everything kind of benefits us a lot in this deck. It kills some cats, possibly, and or the Berserker, but he probably won't be the end of the deck. So I think I'm good with the land, most likely, but I think Kinseekers can make the squash better. It's a good defensive body. I think Glade Walker also can make the squash better and could make the curve a little bit better. But I'm also still good with spells as land, so I'm going to take the Frostpire, I think. Yep. Port of Cartfield. We don't have many creatures, so it's probably not in the deck. Drog Thought Thief. I think I will probably have in this deck at some point, but we don't have to do it yet. Yeti's okay. Pilfering Hawk is probably an early drop we definitely want with all the snow land. Our curve's a little bit higher than I want it to be. So it's probably between Pilfering Hawk and the snow land. And I think I'll take the Hawk this time. I could see still taking the snow land there, but I think I'm on the Hawk for now. Well, the Veil isn't that great right now. It's good for Cosima, but otherwise it's not that impressive. We got 5 lands so far, so we only have 13 playables, but still pretty early. And like I said, we've seen a lot of 2-drops go through in green, so we should be able to fill out our curve a little bit better as we go. That, and I kind of want to pick up the 3-drop glittering land and like a sculptor, which is right here. I'm definitely on board with taking a sculptor over an ice tunnel. I would like an ice tunnel, mind you. Now Maya, I think that's how you say his name, or her name. Can't tell from the picture. Anywho, is probably the strongest card in the pack. We could splash double white, possibly. I think Sculptor is the safer pick. And that's what I'm going to take. Okay, and just on the same vein as that, I think this one's between Mass Vandal and a Snow Forest. I think we're doing okay on snow so far. We don't need a lot of snow for this deck. Doesn't seem like it's completely a snow deck yet. And I will be upset if I don't have a Vandal by the end of it. And we do need like maybe a few more 2-drops. So I'll take a Mass Vandal. All right, all right. So we got, what, 4 ways so far to splash black. And blue is one of our main colors, so Narfi is going to be in there. And we're going to start taking some more snowlands and make it work. Narfi should be great in this deck. We already got a few snow creatures, and we have plenty of snowlands. Well, along that same avenue, Glittering Frost came back around, and that's great because we already have a Sculptor untap it. It helps our Path of the World Tree, and it helps our splash for Narfi. So we're officially 4 colors, not white so far. Yep. And like I said, we get the 2-drops on the way back. So we got Gladewalker or Mass Vandal. I think I'm on for another Vandal. I think it blocks better, which because we're a defensive deck, and I also think dealing with enchantments or artifacts is going to be better than a 2/2 or 1/1 that puts 1 counter on something. This is great. We got the Troll back. We got a lot of snowland so far. We got more with the Frost, so that's going to be good. I think Raven would have been a good pickup as well, but we'll take the Troll all day. All right, well, I'm not a fan of the Yeti. I think we can do better at 4-drop. So I'm going to take the Gladewalker, and that makes our squash that much better. We're going to take this Berserker out of here. I don't think he's good. I think the red we're kind of splashing. Here we got the 3/2 Thought Thief that I said we'd have eventually. And we'll put a null in the sideboard. All right, so we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 21 playables so far, so we're doing great. All right, the Raven's Warning. I'll be honest with you, I haven't played with this too much, but I don't see it as a reason to splash white. Glimpse of the Cosmos. I think we're getting closer to having giants, so that card could be pretty good in our deck. Rootless U. Can't get anything so far, but it would be good in our deck probably by the end of it. I think Spella for 5-color nonsense or 4-color nonsense like we're doing is just great. And I think Spella is probably one of the best uncommons in the set. So most likely we're taking that. I think another Squash wouldn't be terrible. I think Priest would be good in this deck as well. And then Sculptor. So we've got a lot of things that we'd love to wheel from this pack, but I think Spell is just too good. Mystic Reflections, cool commander card, but not a draft card. Lipjara Glade Warden is a giant, so that could help with like our squash, and I think it's a good card in its own right. Invasion of the Giants is fine. Probably not going to play it. Augury Raven, I think is good. I think this deck could use, well, it could use the mountain, snow-covered mountain for one, but I think I'm going to take the Seeker, just kind of to help get our colors on board. So we'll be mostly green and like, you know, play a little less of the islands and mountains, and Seeker will help us go get those. So I think we're on for that. Battle for Bretagard, I think, is a pretty good card, but again, not something we'll splash white for. I think we're looking pretty good to possibly play a Glimpse of the Cosmos in this deck, because we got a lot of shapeshifters. We have 3. Well, we don't have a lot, but we have ways to play it. We play it once, then later it just randomly shows up, and we have seen a lot of things go around. But I think we're on trolls still. I think we'll pick up some more lands, and the trolls are going to be better in our deck. I'm going to put the Sentinel on the sideboard. Holy moly. So we are set up to pretty good to splash and play all of our colors. And then we got past another Path of the World tree. So that's our deck. We're in it. We're playing 5-color good stuff. We're kind of dragging the game along until we can just start taking over Awaken the Trolls, Path of the World tree, or Svella. That's our plan. And along that same plan, Suroth is a very strong bomb. And this is kind of why we stayed open to all colors. So now we can play Suroth pretty easily because we have the couple dual lands that splash black and the Shimmer Drift and the Horizon Seeker to go get black and Glittering Frost. So we're on for that. Elven Bow is very good, and we would take another Glittering Frost and or this mountain. But Suroth is too strong to pass. We're taking him. We're playing him. I would have liked to have another land out of this pack. I hope there's a couple that come around. But Finn is very good. He's a good 2-drop. He fits our curve. He's going to probably get one of these other people cut. And if we didn't already think it was open, Spirit of the Alder Guard shows that Snow is wide open. This is perfect for a deck. So we're going to be able to go get one of these dual lands and really set up the Path of the World tree. We're going to take the Spirit of the Alder Guard. Love it. Agar would also be pretty good. We'll take the Spirit. Never look back. And the hits keep coming, man. Avalanche Caller, one of the best uncommons in the set. One of the best cards you can have in a snow deck. This deck's getting gross. I wish I had more snow lands, mind you, but this deck's gross. I would also take the Snow Swamp, but I can't pass the Caller. We're going to have a lot of juicy cuts. I think I'm going to be on the Sculptor on this one. I don't think we got there in Giants. So I can't really take the Glints of Cosmos, and I will be happy with a Sculptor. Happier than this Guardian and the Glade Walker. This just meh. Like I said, I don't think we got there in the Giants. We'll put the Giants and Invasion of Giants on the sideboard. Now I have to look over it, but I think the Snakeskin Veil got a lot better with some of these legendaries and stuff that we picked up, like Suroth, Svella, Cosmina, Azeka's Chariot. Put the Port in the sideboard. Narfi, all kinds of different things we can use here. Put the Snow-Covered Plains in. We are going to want to run one Plains to go get, and it being snow is going to make us pretty happy. And just throw random cards here at this point. There's none of these going to be in our deck. Invader's not very good. Dog Pursuit. All right. So I think if we had a negative of the deck, it's that we were only able to grab. Maybe I should have been more aggressive because we ended up with a lot of playables. We were only able to grab 5 snow lands. Now you can make that 6 with this Glittering Frost, and Horizon Seeker can go get some of them, one of them. But that's just not as many snow lands as I would have liked to have. So I would have liked to have 1 or 2 more snow lands, or another Glittering Frost to make the things like Avalanche Caller or Icehide Troll or Narfi better. That being said, I feel like we got a lot of strong pieces in this deck. So let's go ahead and start building it, and we can kind of talk over what those pieces are. There we go. All right, so let's look at the numbers on this. See what I said about green being our base color. We're going to have a lot of green, and we're going to have a lot of other. We're going to have a lot smaller of the other colors. So it's kind of green, blue is our main colors, but green's really just our main color. And we're kind of splashing everything else. We have 18 green, 7 blue, 5 red, and 2 black. So really going to make sure we can get green, and green's going to be our way to cast things. So we have, sorry I brought that up and didn't talk about it, we have 18 creatures and 10 non-creatures. So we're going to probably cut some amount of these creatures out and probably trim some of this too. Now remember, Asika's Chariot makes 2/2 casts, so I guess 19 creatures is what we actually have. And we don't know if Crush the Week's going to be in it anymore. So we'll see. Let's take a look. Avalanche Caller, we're keeping. Pilfering Hawk, I think is worth keeping, especially with Narfi. It can get bigger and can kind of loot later. Finn's just a really good card. Mass Vandal, I guess we might be able to cut one. I definitely want access to one. Being able to deal with an artifact or enchantment while having a good defensive creature that could make, squash cost less, I think is really, we want at least one. Sculptor is a really good combo with Glittering Frost, being able to untap your land for 2 mana, being able to untap any of these 5 other lands. So I think we want to keep it, and it going with 3/3 with Narfi. So I think that's good. Cosmina, I really want to see if it's good, and I don't think you can cut a god in this set. I think they're all good enough to be a main deck card. Draugr, I could see being cut. The only good thing about Draugr is it gets pumped by Narfi. Seeker is kind of our way to go get our colors. Icehide Troll is kind of a good way to win. And inevitability and a good defensive body. It's hard for them to bust through something that's going to be a 4/3 indestructible most of the time. And then later game bigger than that. Seraph, just a bomb. Spell is just a bomb. One of the way to hit our colors. We can't cut it. Spirit is another way to hit our colors. Another bomb, way to win the game. I think Inga's good enough. Yeah, I think the plan is to cut one Vandal. And I don't think we need the Draugr. So we'll cut that. Go down to 16, actually 17 with the Chariot, and kind of start looking at the other stuff. So let's see what we want to say with Snakeskin Veil. We would like to keep our Avalanche Caller safe, absolutely. Pilfering Hawk, no. Finn, not really. Vandal, no. So we got Avalanche Caller, Cosmina I'd like to keep safe. Sometimes Icehide Troll, Seraph definitely, Svella for sure. Spirit I could see keeping safe. If they go to exile Narfi, maybe keeping him safe. So yeah, the Veil is probably pretty good in this deck. What does the Crush the Weak kill in our deck? Our own creatures, right? We got some 3 toughness stuff, but it does kill a few of our things. It can be good. I think I'm going to cut the Crush the Weak. I am worried that we don't have enough removal in this deck. Like, we only have the Frostbite and the Squash, and the Ice Mine Pillar is kind of repeated removal. So I am a little worried about that, but we do have enough powerful things to still deal with most of their things. Now, seeing as we don't have that many big creatures, I think Waking the Trolls I still need to keep as kind of inevitability for us. So I think I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep Squash because we need removal. I'm going to keep Pillar because we need it. I think Frostbite might be early interaction we need. And it can be a Lightning Bolt most of the time because we got a lot of snow permanents. We really do. This is tough. We really need like all of this. Let's see. Let's think about this. I think Inga might be our least important creature to what we're doing. So I think I'm going to cut the Inga. It feels weird, but I think I'm going to cut the Inga. We're at 41. All right, so we have some bombs, but we have it pretty widespread, and I don't really want to cut anything else. I'm considering just doing the 17 land 41 card deck. And best of one with a hand smoother, I don't find that being too much of a problem. And like I said, I don't really want to cut anything else. So I think I'm going to do it this way. I don't advise always doing 41 card decks, and especially when we have bombs like this. I don't necessarily know that's right, but I'm going to do it. We're doing 41 cards. Okay, so let's look at our lands. For green, which is what we want the most of, we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I would like probably 9 or 10 green if I can. Now remember, when we're counting the other cards for colors, that we add 2 paths, a spirit for some of them, a glittering frost, and a seeker, and a Svella. There. Now we can add these numbers to all the other colors. So when we're doing that, we go, well, we don't need really any white, but we need it to be able to get with the World Tree. So we're one snow-covered plains. Can't do anything about that. But let's look at how many black cards we got. It says we have 2. Here's 2 swamps. And we have 2 woodland chasms and a shimmer drift. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 11 ways to get black. We don't need 2 swamps. I could see us leaving 1 swamp in to be able to get with the Path of the World Tree or Horizon Seeker, but I'm definitely cutting 1 swamp and I'm putting in 1 forest. That's just a must. No doubt about it. All these ways to go get any color are in green. We need green. So let's put the swamp to the side. I may even cut 1 swamp. All right, so for red, we have 3, 4, 5 with the drift, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's it. Yeah, 9. 9 ways to get red. And we have 4 redded cards in our deck. So I think red's fine. I think this 3 mountains with the pyre, frost pyre is good. Let's check out blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 10 ways to get blue. I could see cutting a blue. We have 5 blue cards in the deck. I could see cutting a blue for a green, I'll be honest. I think there's 17 green cards in our deck that I'm going to run 10 ways to get green. And we're going to let green be our fixing for our whole deck. We're going to leave the 1 swamp in, we're going to leave the 1 plains in, and we're going to run all these as green. Where are... Oh, there it is. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 sources of green because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 green cards that go get our other colors. So we want our 10 sources of green to be able to get to our other colors. That's the point of the deck. That's how we make path work in our deck, and we're going to have this path triggering a lot when we play it with this strategy. So let's go ahead, put all those lands in here. That's how we did our mana base. We are 4 colors, good stuff. We are playing 1 plains to make 2 paths, be able to 4 for 1 our opponents. And honestly, I think this deck's pretty strong. I think we got a good chance of winning some games with this. Like I said, hopefully can show you guys that Waking the Trolls is better than we all think it is. I originally saw this and went, wow, really? Why would you make this a rare? 6 drop? It doesn't do anything. But when you put it over the course of 3 turns in a deck that ramps like this, a deck that grinds like this, you're getting a couple 4/4 trampling trolls, 2 to 4 usually, and that's hard to come back from. So I hope you liked the video. I hope you guys learned something, and I can't wait to show you a video of me playing this. So see you next time, guys.